Melissa and welcome back to my channel. So I am up today for Team Artistic Arsenal for the telephone game YouTube Hop that is part of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I think this must be round 5 and I've joined for the past couple. And so I was given this gorgeous layout by Christina of Redefine Creative, and I love it so much that I copied it pretty much pretty much straight lifted her, especially with the background papers. And I am using the gorgeous Daydream collection by Coco Vanilla Studio. This collection is absolutely stunning. It's a joy to work with. And I thought that the design that Christina had was perfect for the striped paper. So I've torn my edges and cut it into 3 pieces like Christina had. And I'm just working out now what thickness I want each of my layers. And what I love about using a stripe is that it lines up, so you get extra texture, I guess extra dimension, and I love the fact the stripe lines up. So I'm wanting to get this down, but I'm also wanting to do a little bit of something to my background. So I'm just using, I think it was gesso. I'm not sure if it was gesso or white acrylic paint. You'll see, if you go back, you'll see what I used. It's been a while since I made this, but it must be white acrylic paint because it doesn't dry as clear as, or as transparent, I guess, as white gesso. So I've just put a couple of, what do you call it? I've used my paintbrush, sorry guys. I've put a few paint swashes of it down, and then I'm wanting some splatters, so I'm using the Liquitex white acrylic ink, which I really love using. And if you want smaller splatters like I did, you just use a paintbrush, because that dropper in it is quite big. So I'm just drying it off, and I've left this in because this video is only nearly 8.5 minutes long, which is a quick one for me. So drying it off, and I love that I'm using this beautiful grey paper with white kind of uneven dots. Don't even know if they're dots. So yeah, that's dry, and so I'm bringing back in my 3 pieces of pattern paper, and then I'm loving, I have to say, I'm loving this Nuvo glue. It's actually taken over as my favourite glue now because it's just consistently reliable and comes out the same width, I guess I'm trying to say. So it comes out quite thin, and it's great for cut files too. So I'm just gluing them down, lifting them up, and then I have gone over to my sewing machine on another table and just stitched them down. So that stitching is more for texture and effect rather than to hold them down. I'm just bending my paper to get it to flatten out a bit. So I have these 2 photos of Ava looking at scrapbooks. The one of them when she's a baby, I think she must be about, let me just check the layout. So I've put on the layout the date. So that photo was the 22nd of January 2018. So she's about 2. No, she can't be. She can't be 2. Anyway. Is she? Maybe, nearly 1.5. So she's looking at her scrapbook there, I think, or one of the scrapbooks. And then the other photo is a more recent one in July, end of July, where I made a layout and she wanted to see it, and she loved it so much that she ate breakfast with it. So I just love that she loves my scrapbooking. She's probably the child that loves it the most. I think I might have mentioned before that I display 3 of my layouts in the lounge, and if she's not in any of them, she'll ask where she is. And she also she struggles to understand, and obviously there's 10 years between her and our oldest, so if there's any older memories and she's not in them, she gets quite upset as to where she is. So it's pretty cute. But yeah, I make a huge effort to show her the pages of her that I scrap. So I thought this was quite a nice reflective page about sort of then and now, and the fact to document that she still loves looking at her scrapbook layouts and pages, or her albums. So I've popped one of those photos, the newer, more recent photo, up on some craft foam just to give it dimension and lift it up. And then I'm just placing my embellishments around. So I'm using the ephemera pieces, some of the stickers. I think that's all I'm actually using from this collection. This layout obviously came together really quickly, and I don't even think I did any fussy cutting. I've just used the ephemera flowers. So I'm using craft foam and dimensional adhesive just to pop them up. I'm bending them, as I always do, to give them more dimension and to lift them up and provide some shadowing. And so I think I pretty much followed Christina with her embellishing. So I'm really going for 2 quite large clusters. I think she did 3, but yeah. And I think the only thing I differ on is the placement of my title, which you'll see soon. So yeah, not much more to say really. Just trying to work out where to put things. I did have that rainbow at the top of the photo and I'd glued it there, but the thing about this glue is it's quite forgiving. So if you lift something up quickly, it hasn't fully adhered. So that can be good and, not so good sometimes to have glue that doesn't dry straight away, but definitely when it comes to moving things around, it's a great thing. So just trying to place that leaf and I don't really get it anywhere. I have cut one of those yellow flowers in half and I'm using both pieces. That's a little tip for you if you want to not waste your embellishments by hiding them, cut them in half. And then I'm using these foam letter stickers or title stickers from Unforgettable, which is also cocoa vanilla, and I just love the extra texture and because it's different material that it adds to this layout. So yeah, put little house in to represent home and then just adding a flower next to it. I do bend up the edges or the petals of my flowers just to give them a bit more dimension as well. I love doing that. And then there are some of these foam hearts in that sticker pack, or foam sticker pack. So I'm using 3 of those. Just putting my journaling down about how I love how much she loves looking at her scrapbooks and layouts. And yeah, also mention that she gets annoyed when I scrap a photo that doesn't include her. So pretty cute. Yeah, and she actually gets quite jealous, especially when it's her older sisters that are in a photo on a layout and she's not in it. So now I'm putting one of these moths down and I put liquid adhesive down the center of the moth like I do with a butterfly and then lift the leaves. So I did think about adding a bit more in terms of flowers to the left of that little house, but I decided not to. And I'm just bending up the edges of the paper. I love doing that. Because I've torn the edges, I didn't need to add any distressing, and I haven't distressed anywhere else. I've kept the rest of the edges quite clean. Added a little sticker that says "So Good" because it is. And my final touch is to add some black Heidi Swap splatters. So that's my layout. Coming up is Jennifer, who is Kay's mum on YouTube, and I've passed my layout to her, and I can't wait to see what she makes. Thanks for watching.